And I remember being in a hotel room in Istanbul, the Ritz-Carlton in Istanbul, overlooking the sunrise on the Bosphorus when I sent the final email with the final edits. And it was like one of the greatest moments of my life because I'm a bookworm and I loved it.
Now you've written 3 books, and look, I have big issues with books because I wrote a book, and it was probably the toughest thing I've ever done to sit down and plan it all out, think it all through, get motivated to do it, demotivated because it took longer than I thought, and then go back to it and work on it again, and then surround myself with too many people going, well, that's not that difficult, is it? Which made me even more angry. So I'm, people say to me, have you got another book in you? And I'm like, for sure, but you ain't having it. So when you write a book, it takes a lot out of you, put a lot into it. Did you enjoy the whole experience of writing books?
So I've done my books in 3 different ways, and the last one I barely did any work on. So I'll give you a really, really quick breakdown of how I did it. First book, same as you. I didn't know what I was doing. So I didn't even have the proper outline, which if you are thinking of writing a book, before you go and write the book, the outline is the key. My friend Ryan Holiday taught me that after I'd written my first book, and I realized, oh my goodness, it would have been so much easier. So I wrote 300 pages, got stuck because they were essays. And I actually like writing. So I've been writing, probably 2,000 words a day since 2000. So I like it, but I had written this thing that wasn't joined together. I was ready to give up, and my friend said, well, why don't you email Tucker Max? And so, I got in contact with Tucker, and he has a thing it was called Book in a Box. Now it's called Scribed Media, which I used for my second book, which I'll talk about in a second. But I just went to their editor there. I sent them 300 pages. They sent me back 110. I was like, give me back those hours of my life where I wrote those extra 200 pages. And then I remember 9 rounds of edits. And I remember being in a hotel room in Istanbul, the Ritz-Carlton in Istanbul, overlooking the sunrise on the Bosphorus when I sent the final email with the final edits. And it was like one of the greatest moments of my life because I'm a bookworm and I loved it. So that was really pivotal for me because writing the book was very transformational for my life because it allowed me to make that leap from fitness guy over to the business coaching side. So that was the first way I did it. The second way, I went through Tucker's company where they interview you, then they write the book. You go back and forth to make sure it's in your voice. That didn't turn out as well as I wanted because I rewrote every sentence because I'm very, very much a stickler, but that turned into a Wall Street Journal bestseller called Unstoppable. And then the third book, The Perfect Week Formula, I had in between Unstoppable and The Perfect Week Formula figured out everything I had done wrong previously. So when I wrote The Perfect Day Formula, I got probably about 500 questions about, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? So we realized we wrote the wrong book. We had to go write The Perfect Week Formula. I realized I didn't have enough stories about successful clients in my books, so we added a whole lot more there. But most importantly, I had groomed a young man, 23 years old, to write in my voice. So all of our daily emails that go out in my business are written by him, and no one's the wiser because he just knows how to write in my voice. And so I did the audios. I told all these stories in a couple of hours and sent him off, and he wrote the book. I have hundreds of coaching clients. So what I did was I said, hey, does anybody want to proofread the book? We had 25 people proofread the book over a weekend. We got all the mistakes caught. And sure enough, we turned that book around in probably 120 days. And everyone says it's my best book yet, which I didn't even write.